Hey, welcome back to the podcast. So, today we are going to be tackling a question that I get asked pretty frequently, and that is what foods can I eat or eat more of to help regulate my hormones? So, I sat down and I have made a list of 10 foods in no particular order, no particular rhyme and reason of why I put them in this order that I keep on repeat in my diet and that I firmly believe help regulate my hormones, help contribute to the hormonal balance that I have, keep me from having, terrible PMS symptoms, heavy bleeding, painful cramps, all the things that we don't want. And you're going to notice some themes as I go through these list of 10 foods, and I will kind of with each one kind of explain why it is I feel that that is a helpful food or what areas I feel like it helps. And you're going to notice some themes. So, those three themes, I want to call those out right in the beginning, are foods that are a good source of minerals, foods that are a good source of protein and are easy and versatile proteins, and then also fiber is the other theme. So, starting at the top of my list here, the first one that I have are kiwis. And kiwis are a fruit, of course. I think surely most of you guys know that. But the reason that I like this one is you do get some fiber there, but it's also a really good source of potassium. Low potassium on an HTMA test is a really common finding for the clients that I work with, and it's been an issue for myself as well. And low potassium can cause, various different things because we have that sodium and potassium pump on every single one of our cells that dictates what can come in, what goes out. It helps our cells get things in there like insulin and our thyroid hormone. So we want to have ample amount of potassium. So that is the first thing that I had. Second thing I had here on my list was chicken. Chicken is obviously a good protein source. It's also got some good minerals in it. And the reason that I like chicken is because of the variety. Like there's so many different ways that you can prepare chicken. You can season it different and completely change the taste. It's different whether you put it on the grill or you bake it in the oven or you put it in the crock pot or the instant pot. I like to lean on foods that are like a good source nutritionally, but then I can also change it up so I don't feel like I'm eating the same thing over and over and over again. Next up, we've got sweet potatoes. They are a really good source of fiber. They are pretty good also for your blood sugar balance, and they have minerals as well. And same thing with sweet potatoes too. Like you can fix them in a variety of different ways. I commonly do baked sweet potatoes, but you can also chunk them up and roast them. Very tasty like that. Next on my list is really kind of three foods all in one, but I just put berries. And when I say berries, I'm talking about strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. They are all very rich in minerals, and they are some of the higher fiber fruits that we have available to us. So I love to add them as a side to breakfast, lunch, sometimes even dinner, depending on what I'm having, as a way to add in some easy fiber. Also tastes really good. It's a good snack option when you pair it with something else. I try to not eat them just by themselves because there is sugar in that fruit, of course, but we don't demonize that sugar. But if you put it like, with maybe a mozzarella cheese stick or a protein shake or something, then it's a pretty good balanced snack option. Next on my list here, I have a good collagen powder. So for me in particular, this is the Further Food brand chocolate collagen. That is my favorite one. It tastes really good. I mix it with whole milk, so I'm getting a little extra protein because of the whole milk, and I'm also getting some fat there. People always want to argue that collagen is not a complete protein, and that's true. It's not, but I don't worry about that because I know that I am consuming complete proteins in other parts of my day. So collagen is great to have on hand, so that you can easily add in more protein. There are other collagen powders as well. There's even some of them now that you can mix that come like as a drink mix. Clean Simple Eats has a variety pack, and they're almost like a mineral drink flavor wise. Like they've got I think there's a blueberry one, maybe a kiwi one. I can't remember the various different flavors because it's been a while since I had them, but I know there's some brands that have a lemon one. There's lots of different options. It doesn't have to just be the chocolate that I like, or their Further Food also has a vanilla. This time of year, Further Food has a pumpkin spice, which I ordered this year, and I've been putting in some decaf coffee every once in a while. It's very tasty. Okay, the next thing that I have is also not just one particular food, but it's one of my favorite snacks and one of my favorite things to keep on hand in my fridge at all times to get an easy source of some protein. Like sometimes I will pair these with my collagen drink in the morning and have that as my breakfast. And it's the P3 packs from, I think it's Oscar Mayer that makes them. So there's like three little sections of the pack, and they have various different like flavor sets. One of the ones that I really like has turkey bites. I think it's cheddar cheese or maybe Colby Jack cheese. I don't remember. And then almonds. They've got one that has chicken cheese and cashews. And they have one that has turkey cheddar cheese and then these little peanut clusters that are covered with some dark chocolate. They're very tasty. They're super easy. I often need a snack in the afternoons, right about the time that I'm going out the door to go pick the kids up from school. And it takes me about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour to pick all the kids up because they're in three different places and get back home. So if I'm ever at the point that I need a snack in the afternoon, but I'm like literally rushing out the door at that time, I will grab one of these, do it in the car. It's clean, it's easy to grab, and it tastes really good. Next on my list is eggs. So, eggs I will do, in the morning for breakfast, either scrambled or fried, either one. And then I like to keep hard-boiled eggs on hand as a snack option as well, or just to have like as an easy way to chop one up and throw it on a salad, or if I'm making like tuna salad, something like that. There are some good minerals in eggs. It does have some protein in it. I think there's about 6 grams of protein per egg. And then it's good for our cholesterol levels. And we need cholesterol in order for our body to be able to make hormones. So that's important. Next on the list here, I have squash and zucchini. I particularly like this, like squash and zucchini roasted, like seasoned and roasted either in the oven or on the grill. It's one of my favorite vegetables, especially it is of course a summertime vegetable. And going right along with that, I didn't write this on my list, but I'm just thinking about it right now. Butternut squash would go in this same category. I find it really easy to have this prepared ahead of time and use it as a side to lunches or dinners, either one. Um, I'm one of the only ones in my family that will eat it, so I kind of make it in bulk and then store it and do just what I said. Like I'll pull it out, heat up a little portion as an extra side to my dinner so that I've got some fiber and some minerals, or same thing with my lunch. The next thing on my list here is actually shrimp. So I do really like shrimp. And it's an easy protein source. Plus, it's a good source of selenium, and you need selenium to support your thyroid as well as other minerals. So it's a good source for that. And I find it to be really easy to prepare because you can just like, if you buy it frozen and where you can just pour like a portion out. You can fix it in your air fryer really quickly, or your oven if you want to bake it, or you can do it in the stovetop. And again, it's one of those things that, depending on the way you like it or the way you season it, you can fix it in a lot of different ways. You can fix it like kind of garlicky or Italian and have it with some pasta or spaghetti squash. If you like to do that as a pasta alternative, you can do kind of like fajitas with it or tacos. You can just kind of keep it more plain or blackened and do like vegetables with it. There's just a lot of different ways that you can use it. And again, I really look for that. And then the last thing that I have here is beef. So we do steaks a lot here at my house because that's just an easy option. We love to just throw those on the grill and go. And then we get a We have a cow killed every year and processed, so we have a lot of ground beef as well. And again, that's obviously a protein source, but there's a lot of variety there. You can prepare it in a lot of different ways, do a lot of different things with it, and it's your good protein source. So that's my list of 10. That was the last one. Um, and like I said, this is not like an exclusive list of what I eat. Okay. These are things that I am buying and keeping on hand and fixing over and over and over again that I feel like are some of the things that contribute to my ability to be able to have balanced, happy hormones and therefore happy, drama-free periods. So I hope that that's helpful. If there's foods on this list that you're like, no, I hate that food, I just don't like that at all, don't let that discourage you. This, like I said, is not an exhaustive list. It's just what I personally like and what I recommend to my clients. You can find which fruits or which vegetables or which protein sources are your favorites, and then just eat more of them. It's kind of the same thing as like being on a diet. Sometimes the most boring of plans or the most simple are what work. So this is a great way to take a food first approach to balancing your hormones and supporting those minerals so that you can have hormonal balance. Um, So I think that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope it's helpful. I hope that this gives you a reminder, maybe that this doesn't have to be complicated. It can be easy, and sometimes we overthink it and we don't have to. So I hope you guys have a great week. If you are listening and you have not signed up yet to join my email community, there is a link in the show notes for you to do that. I have a newsletter that comes out every Thursday. It is your weekly hormone check-in, and I cover a different topic in my newsletter from what I have covered here on the podcast episode. So it's a great way to plug in and get more education, tips, and tricks related to your hormones and your hormone balance. So definitely sign up for that. And then there are a couple free resources that are linked there in the show notes for you as well. And then if you haven't already, take a second and subscribe to the show so that you don't miss an episode. I try to put up episodes every Tuesday. So I'll be back next Tuesday. Hope you guys have a great week.